you folks?
How are you?
Hi, Adam.
Mike.
Hi, Mike. Nice to meet you. Hi.
Good morning, Chris.
Hi, Chris. Adam. Nice to meet you.
Great conversation. It ends here. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Hey, Cliff, just remind me if this would happen to be your first time upstairs in this room, which is
I think that was the right call.
the restrooms are
Well,
right
if
out
we
that
have to
door
find
down the
next
hall.
time, we can do it anyway.
It is a little more comfortable of a setting.
And it produces a lot more community feeling.
Yeah.
It just, I think Al, he just assumed that
Well, this
We're all-
morning
we've been trying
we're
to do it that way
launching
for a while.
a little bit of a new
Anything
era.
else you need, yell, because I'm willing to be
As
the
we
go-to.
grow, we recognize that,
Thanks.
and we've done things like this before, but I think we're ready to focus on it in a different way. There are some things that are just very basic as you set out to live a life following Jesus. So this could be true of you, especially if you're just trying to figure this out for the first time, just became a Christian, maybe just baptized. There's some things right out of the gate that are just really helpful. And at the same time, you might be 10 or 20 years in, and some things that we're going to talk about over the next 6, 7 weeks, you've just never really heard before. And so this first one that we're going to do for this run of, is it 6 weeks or 7 weeks? I can't remember.
8 weeks, but we're off one.
8 weeks, but we're off one. Okay, you get a free one. So we're going to talk about the complete story of the Bible all in one spot, which I find this is one of the most helpful things you can learn as a follower of Jesus, is to get this whole thing in context. Because people pull stuff out of the Bible for ridiculous reasons all the time, right? And it's very, if you go to it the first time, it's very difficult to understand. And I get that. So what we're going to do in this session called God's Story is talk about that complete story of the Bible
Not
in
to
one
infringe on
place for these
copyright
8
issues.
weeks. And so you walk out of here going, hey, I may not know everything, but I at least have an idea of how the whole thing fits together. Which will help you understand anything you read from anywhere in the Bible much better. That make sense? So we use this, I'm going to back up here. We use this, you might have seen, how many of you have seen these drawings before? Okay, very good. Okay, could any of you tell me what the words are down below here? What's right here? For, right. With. One of. I chose the marker that did not work. In. Right, okay. Now, so we use this in terms of the importance of loving the people, taking the message and mission of Jesus out to the world and being, not just being with people, serving them and pulling back. It's the importance of really loving people intentionally, being one of. So the importance of being in your community, in your neighborhood, at work with the relationships you already have. One of, and then the Holy Spirit's in us, and our dream is that we help people meet and follow Jesus and do that, this whole thing over again, right? You're for people, you're with people, you become one of them, you get the chance, hopefully, for Jesus to be born in them, right? This is also a way of explaining the entire Bible with these diagrams, right? Because Genesis opens with God being for us. Genesis 1 and 2, the world is made because he loves us. He has made it for our enjoyment and benefit, right? So that's clear. Then as the Old Testament moves on, you see signs of the burning bush, or Moses going up to the top of the mountain to meet with God to pull down the Ten Commandments, Daniel in the lion's den. God is increasingly with people, right? And then, what's this? One of. What part of the Bible is this? Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Jesus, God, he's not only for us, he's not only with us sometimes, he comes and now he's one of us. Jesus moves into the neighborhood. The God who makes the universe now comes and is on the planet with us. Incredible. Then, the book of Acts right here, through the rest of Revelation, is the story of now, God's not just with us on the planet, he now lives inside of anyone who will follow him. Amazing. All right, so you can actually explain the entire Bible with these, and we're going to do a much better look, but I wanted you to have that as a framework. All right, I want to introduce to you your teacher for most of the sessions that are coming up. Many of you have met him already. His name is Adam Barton. So Adam, if you wouldn't mind standing up. Adam and I have gotten to know each other over the last probably year and a half, I think, 2 years. Adam is a great teacher, pastor, has lots of experience. He loves this kind of topic and does a great job with it. And so what you see in front of you is stuff that Adam has developed. And so I just want to make sure you gave him a very warm welcome and give him your full attention.
Thank you. It's good to be back again. And in the next 8 weeks, we're going to be off for, is it Easter? Yeah, off for Easter. We're gonna go through the entire Bible, Genesis to Revelation, in 7 sessions. And we're going to be meeting up here. And I never get sick of teaching this. It's been about 10 years of doing this now, and it never gets tiring to me. I wish somebody would have brought me through this when I was a child. It really would have been helpful. But we're going to do that. So is everybody in the right room? Genesis to Revelation, 7 or 8 weeks? Great. Good to be with you. You can if you want. You can if you want. Let me introduce a little my family. This is my wife, Carrie. She's right here. And I have 2 boys at home, Vaughn and Elijah. We don't always pose that well for pictures. That one was just recently professionally taken in the woods by our house. But they're downstairs. Vaughn is 8, Elijah is 5. We're at a bowling birthday party yesterday, and it was a lot better than I thought. We enjoyed ourselves, so good time. My wife stays at home with Vaughn and Elijah. She's also a school teacher at Cornerstone Community School, where she used to work as an art teacher. So if I somehow get really sick or something, my wife could probably take it over because she has listened to this countless times. I'll tell you a little bit about what I do. I have been in pastoral ministry maybe for most of 14 years, but the past 3 years I've been out of full-time pastoral ministry doing some other things, and most recently I serve full-time with an organization called I See You Mobile. And when you think I see you, it's literally like I see you in the womb. And what this is, we put together these things. We take these RVs and we retrofit the back bedroom into a mobile ultrasound clinic. And then we find pregnancy centers throughout the nation that want to partner with us. We sell them one of our vehicles, and they staff it, and they go out into their communities. They go to parking, shopping plazas, parking lots, park outside the Walmart. They'll park across from abortion clinics, and they'll basically give out free ultrasounds to women that are in a crisis pregnancy center, or women that are in a crisis pregnancy and are unsure of what they want to do. And obviously, we want them to keep their baby. So when they come on, we just put a sign outside that says free ultrasound. They'll come on board, and we'll show them their baby. And about 89% of the women that were heading towards an abortion will change their mind after seeing the image of their baby. We also, we're truly a ministry. We share the gospel with everybody that comes on board. And through our fleet of 26 affiliates throughout the nation, we have 2 in Akron, 1 in Cleveland would be the closest here. We're working on Canton. The Lord saves 2 babies a day for scheduled abortions, women that were planning on having an abortion, just through showing them the image of their baby. And we also have almost 2 people a day come to know the Lord for the first time. So I'm just honored and proud to work with this particular ministry. These are some of the babies that were just recently saved. These are real people. Some of the kids that we meet are now 7 years old, you know, and we had a guy come into work about 3 weeks ago. He just said, I just wanted to thank you guys, of which I wasn't even on staff at the time, but he has twins, and they're 3 years old, and they tried to have an abortion 3 times, and obviously the Lord just really worked with them. So it's we see the good side of all this, and you can see us praying behind around one of the mobiles that was deployed recently to Cleveland. So that's what I do full-time when I'm not doing stuff like this. So thanks for having us, and why don't we get rolling? When I was a kid, I knew the Bible stories well. I knew Daniel and the lion's den. I knew David and Goliath, Adam and Eve, Jesus. But what they were is, they were stories that were just kind of floating in space. I had no idea where they kind of fit chronologically, historically. The 66 books of the Bible, they were, to me, 66 books. I did not see them as one cohesive unit working together. And that's why we're here over these next 7 weeks. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to understand the major themes of the Bible. Okay? The Bible has one author, truly one author, God, and it is one book comprised of 66 books with one story. We're going to understand how the Old Testament and New Testament work together. Anybody here for that specifically? You want to know how those two fit together? Yeah. That the Old Testament and New Testament fit together, and that there's not two separate gods, a mean God and a nice God, right? That's not the way that it is. That's oversimplifying things, but sometimes people think that, don't they? I used to run a basketball ministry with a friend of mine. He was a little more graceful than me, and I was known as the Old Testament pastor, and he was the New Testament pastor. Basically, because I would kick people out if they were fighting. So we'll have a chronological grasp of the Scriptures by the end of this course. Okay, literally dates and history. We'll also, I want you to be able to share in 3 minutes kind of the basic story of the Scriptures with somebody.